Hi there guys and welcome to Xbox On. It's Bex here and we've got another set of fantastic deals for you on the Microsoft Store. This week there are two big sales from two of the biggest publishers in games, Ubisoft and Capcom, which means Henry and I have got some absolute gems for you at deep discounts. First, let's start with Ubisoft.
If you were following the Ubisoft Forward announcements over the weekend, you'll know that we got a ton of new details on three massive upcoming games: Far Cry 6, Watch Dogs Legion, and Assassin's Creed Valhalla. This sale is the perfect chance to catch up on all three series with discounts on the most recent installments, which in Assassin's Creed's case means the ancient Greek set Odyssey, featuring the biggest open world in the history of the series. 90 square miles of gorgeous blue seas, rocky islands, and classical architecture. And with 65% knocked off the price of the game's Ultimate Edition, you also get to visit the lost city of Atlantis with the included expansion packs. You can even hop across the Atlantic and the millennia to the American Revolution in remasters of both Assassin's Creed 3 and Liberation. And while you're working your way through all of that, you can now officially pre-order Valhalla on the Microsoft Store, ready for its launch on the 17th of November. As well as the base game, that'll get you access to a bonus mission called The Way of the Berserker.
And from the distant past, next we're off to the near future with Watch Dogs. The first two games in the series take place in sci-fi versions of Chicago and San Francisco, letting you bend the city to your will by hacking it. You get to take control of everything from security cameras to traffic lights and even cars to give you an edge on your enemies. The second game adds a remote control car and drone to your arsenal, and that's being expanded even further in the upcoming sequel Watch Dogs Legion, something we discovered in our recent hands-on time with the game. And we've just got a release date for Legion. It's coming out on the 29th of October. And you can pre-order it now to get some golden cosmetics at launch.
Which brings us to the third big announcement of Ubisoft Forward, Far Cry 6. The setting for this one is the Central American island of Yara, where you'll be working to bring down a corrupt dictatorship. But if you need to catch up, you can grab the last main installment in the series with a whopping 80% off the Gold Edition this week. Far Cry 5 is all about the battle with a doomsday cult in a small US town that could decide the fate of the entire world. And where it all ends, well, let's just say it creates some interesting questions for Far Cry 6. And again, this is the Gold Edition of the game, which means that on top of the game itself, you get 3 expansions that change things up totally, blasting you off to Mars, a zombie apocalypse, and the Vietnam War. As if that wasn't enough, you also get an updated version of Far Cry 3, which is arguably the best game in the whole series.
Rounding out the Ubisoft sale are two great games for fans of tactical shooting, elite military operatives, and all that other Tom Clancy goodness. Starting with the Deluxe edition of Rainbow Six Siege for 70% off. In this competitive shooter, you're split into teams of 5, either defending or attacking an objective, with the added complication that maps can be blown to bits using bombs, sledgehammers, or whatever special abilities your character is packing. This deluxe edition significantly expands that armory with 16 extra operatives to choose from.
Or if you prefer ghosts to rainbows, there's also 65% off Ghost Recon Breakpoint's Ultimate Edition. This one drops you into a squad of 4, with the role of your squad mates either filled by friends over Xbox Live, or, thanks to a free update coming this week, AI agents. If you're playing solo, these companions can be customized and given orders that, unlike your friends, they'll actually follow. Either way, you'll be facing off against an army of equally elite enemy operators led by John Bernthal. Yeah, him off the telly. And if you've got an Xbox One X, there are 2 enhanced modes to choose from: graphics and resolution, which will make sure that you can enjoy Mr. Bernthal's face in all of its HD glory.
Now, I've seen everything. What the? What is that? What is that?
Okay, now let's jump over to the Capcom sale, with offers on some of the legendary Japanese publishers' biggest hits. Like, for example, a little game called Resident Evil, specifically number 7, aka Biohazard, which also happens to be the name of the first game in Japan, confusingly enough. But it actually makes a lot of sense because this is a bit of a fresh start for the survival horror series. 7 was the first game to use the RE engine, which has done an amazing job of reviving Resi 2 and 3 in the remakes. And it also switches things up by moving the action from Raccoon City to a creepy Louisiana swamp, and jumping to a first-person perspective for some truly in-your-face scares. The game's getting a direct sequel with next year's Resident Evil Village, so this is the perfect chance to get caught up and thoroughly spook yourself in the process.
Next up, another game that takes stunning advantage of the RE engine with 50% off Devil May Cry 5. This is an action game that's not just about slaying demons, but doing it with style as one of the 3 heroes. There's Nero, who comes complete with detachable robot arms he can shoot at his enemies, newcomer V, who has his pet demons to fight for him, and of course your main man Dante, who in Devil May Cry 5 not only has his traditional gun and sword combo, but an arsenal including a rocket launcher, a weaponized hat, and an honest-to-god motorcycle that he bashes enemies with. Like I said, it's all about slaying in style. Plus, the Xbox One version of the game comes with 100,000 Red Orbs for free, letting you upgrade your characters and their weapons right off the bat. Souped up motorbike? Yeah, don't mind if I do.
But maybe the single most legendary Capcom series has to be Street Fighter, which has had players chucking fireballs and practicing quarter circles since 1987. To mark its 30th birthday, Capcom released a compilation featuring the arcade versions of 12 games from the series, and right now you can grab it for 60% off. Whether you're the kind of person who can debate the pros and cons of Street Fighter 2 Turbo vs Champion Edition, or you're looking for an entry point to gaming history, this collection is
perfect! But, and bear with me, but what if you took all of the Capcom games that we've mentioned so far, put them in a blender, and then threw in a ton of Marvel characters just for measure? Well, you'd either have Marvel vs Capcom Infinite or a very, very messy kitchen. And probably some questions from the police, but we'll get on to that. This is a fighting game where you can pit Chun-Li against Captain America, or find out who's the biggest bad between Thanos and Nemesis. And if that's not enough to sell you on it, Infinite is currently just a quarter of its regular price. Or you can play it as part of the Xbox Game Pass library. Marvelous.
And let's finish with a truly monstrous deal, 40% off Iceborne, an expansion so big it feels like you should be tracking it down with a gun lance in hand. Iceborne takes the already massive Monster Hunter world and adds a whole new region, the wintry Hoarfrost Reach. Along with a continuation of the main game's story, new gear to earn, a grappling hook, and did I forget something? Oh yeah, more monsters. And they keep on coming too, with free updates that just last week introduced the fire-breathing Alatrion and Frostfang Barioth, meaning this is an expansion that just keeps on expanding. Note that you do need the base game to play Iceborne, but good news for you, it's included with Xbox Game Pass, meaning as long as you're a subscriber, you can just buy this and get straight to the hunting.
So there you have it, another pile of amazing deals to get stuck into. If you're new to the channel, we do these every single week, so make sure to subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, and never miss another bargain again. If you've grabbed any of this week's deals, let us know down in the comments and give us a like. Go on, you know you want to. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye!